Welcome back to another video. Today I am explaining the GOAT technique to Gojo's Infinity. Now Infinity of course is Gojo's third curse technique in the series that is showcased the most, along with Limitless and Six Eyes that he of course inherited. Now Infinity creates an infinite amount of space between him and the object that is coming against him that he deems a threat. Otherwise, it can create an infinite barrier, so if it gets close enough, it will just end up deflecting or just never touch him in any regards. Many people did not know, or many people get confused that it is a passive ability. Is it always on? How can he eat? Like, explain it better. It is not a passive ability. It has to be subconsciously triggered, or at least for it to remain active. Gojo has to keep Infinity on, keep thinking of it, and keep that barrier ongoing for himself. For example, in the flashback of JJK, that Plasma Star flashback, it is shown that whatever he deems a threat, he can of course deflect it, as when they threw the pencil at him. But if he deems it not a threat, like the eraser, he can catch it and let it go through his invisible barrier. So it is not a passive technique. It is just not always on. He has to keep it on at all times. Now of course there are only a few amount of ways, and the only person that we see, the two people that we see defeat Infinity of course is the Brain, my bad, Kenjaku, of course, when he uses the cursed realm to seal Gojo. That means that Infinity of course that allowed him to be sealed in the cursed realm just because of the object, and did not get reflected by the Infinity protective barrier. And the second one, of course, spoiler alert, is the fight with Sukuna that we all know, where Sukuna has to use Mahoraga to find a way to get over Gojo's Infinity, because if he didn't, Gojo's Infinity would have killed Sukuna, of course, where he sees Mahoraga's ending slash. See that Gojo of course was getting hit by the slashes once it adapted to its Infinity, where Sukuna comes up with the perfection idea, of course, along with binding vows along with binding vows to get across to Gojo, cut Gojo with the world's cutting slash, where it affects his soul and can bypass the Infinity. So there's ways to get around it, but Sukuna is the only one that has a successful attempt to do it. Of course, the only person that I probably think could have gotten past it is Kashimo, but Kashimo is just a tier below Gojo. Of course, you see Kashimo with his fight with Sukuna, so it'd be impactful to see. So anything that interacts with his soul is fair game that Infinity cannot protect him from. So when I saw, this is just a little tangent, when I see stupid fights of Goku or Beerus, or like Beerus, Goku, Vegeta against Gojo, and who wins that fight and how do you get over Infinity, if they have access to Hakai that can touch Gojo, it doesn't affect him physically, it affects his soul and deletes every amount of essence, the space, the time, and the person himself. That means Gojo would lose to a person with the Hakai ability, of course. So there are ways. Anyway, like, subscribe, let me know if I missed anything out to the Infinity technique, of course. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.